Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are breaking down the powerful and honestly surprising science behind a very simple idea, kindness.
In a world that can feel pretty overwhelming, a lot of us are feeling this way, just stretched thin, emotionally drained. We're pulled in a million different directions. But what if the real answer isn't just to slow down, but to actually connect? Well, it turns out there's a really compelling scientific reason why kindness feels like the very counterforce we're all looking for.
You see, it's so much more than just a nice feeling. It's a deep biological need that connects us, that generates real hope. And as we're about to see, the effects are way more powerful than you might imagine. So let's start with what's happening right inside our own bodies. Okay, first things first, let's zoom right in to the physiological level and actually see what's going on inside our bodies and our brains when an act of kindness happens.
Now, most of us think the opposite of stress is, well, calm, right? But scientifically, that's not quite the whole story. Calm is really just the absence of stress. The true physiological opposite is kindness. Think about it. Stress fires up our fight or flight response. It floods us with hormones. It raises our blood pressure. Kindness does the exact reverse. It actively shuts that whole system down.
And look, this isn't just a nice idea or a theory. The idea that kindness can literally protect your heart, that has been demonstrated in some truly remarkable studies.
Take this study from the University of British Columbia. The setup was just brilliantly simple. They got a group of people with high blood pressure, and they gave them some cash. They told half of them, go on, treat yourself. And the other half, they were told to spend it on someone else. And the results? They were absolutely astonishing. Just look at that difference on the chart. The group that spent the money on other people saw their blood pressure drop significantly. We're talking by a margin that's comparable to starting a new medication or a whole new exercise plan. Kindness is literally good for your heart.
But it doesn't just stop with our hearts. No way. The effects go even deeper. Studies are now showing that being kind can actually change the genetic activity in our immune cells. It reduces inflammation, it helps us fight off viruses, it's changing us all the way down to our DNA. So why? Why does our biology respond so strongly to this?
So the biological benefits are clearly huge. But this brings up a really key question. Why are small, everyday acts of kindness often more impactful than these big, grand, once-in-a-while gestures? Well, the answer is programmed deep, deep inside of us.
The answer lies in what some scientists are calling our kind genes. And this isn't just some fluffy metaphorical term. It refers to the actual parts of our genetic code that are responsible for empathy and for caregiving. This stuff is part of our core biological wiring.
And get this, these genes are ancient. We're talking at least 100 million years old. Now that tells us something absolutely crucial. Kindness wasn't just a nice-to-have. It was essential for our species to survive.
So because this programming is so ancient, so fundamental, our bodies are literally primed for frequent, small moments of connection. Big gestures are great, don't get me wrong, but it's the small, everyday acts of support that keep this positive biology constantly switched on. It's the social glue that's held us together for millions of years.
Okay, so we've seen what happens inside us. Now let's pull back the camera. Let's zoom out and see how these small acts create these massive waves that go way beyond just ourselves and the person we're helping.
It all kicks off with a feeling that researchers have a great name for, elevation. You know that feeling, right? That warm, uplifting sensation you get when you see someone do something kind, or when someone is kind to you. Well, that feeling is incredibly powerful. It makes us much more likely to then go and be kind to someone else. It's literally the fuel for the ripple effect.
And the research shows this contagion, this ripple, it doesn't just stop with the next person in line. A single act of kindness can actually travel through a social network to a third person, someone you might not even know, someone you may never even meet.
And here's the crucial part. This impact isn't just adding up, it's multiplying. It's exponential. Let's just do the quick math here. Let's say you're kind to 5 people, and then each of them, feeling that sense of elevation, is kind to 5 more people, and then each of them does the same. Just like that, your one initial small action can create a wave of kindness that touches over 100 people. That is an incredible multiplier effect that starts with just one person, you. So, when you really get your head around this ripple effect, you start to see how individual acts of kindness aren't just a personal thing. They have the power to actually reshape our workplaces, our communities, and maybe even our society as a whole. And it starts by correcting a huge myth we've all heard a million times. Survival of the fittest. We think it means the most aggressive, the most dominant. But Darwin never meant that. He meant most suited to the environment. And for a social species like us, what does being suited mean? It means having empathy, the ability to connect, and the capacity for kindness. This leads to a really game-changing idea. What if we stopped seeing kindness as this fixed personality trait? You know, something you either have or you don't. What if we started treating it like a skill that can be learned, that can be practiced? Just imagine how that could reshape our institutions. If we prioritized empathy in our schools and hospitals. If we started to build a society where we expect and we trust in the kindness of others.
See, this idea, it reframes everything. It empowers each and every one of us to be an agent of positive biological and social change. And it starts with just small, simple actions. And that leaves us with one final thought to take away. It's not about being a kind person. It's about doing kind things. So the only question left is, how will you practice?